Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Joanna. Thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for visiting. I hope you stay here. This is going to be these are going to be your readings for the month of March. I won't make a long introduction other than lots of exciting changes. Most of the signs have some pretty substantial changes leading to good things. So it's a lot of excitement. I felt a lot of excitement, energy when I was doing most of the signs. So there is very much a lot of new beginnings that I felt are happening. And all of us are going through challenges, minor and major, and it has to do with the energies we are attracting, we are being surrounded by. So it's a lot of interesting things going on. For those of you who want a longer prediction, I have the 6-month videos, and that information is down below, and also exclusive relationship videos or messages for the entire 2018. That information is down below too. I talk about general these are general readings, so I do touch on various aspects, but they don't exclusively focus in on relationships. And with that said, thank you so much for liking, sharing, for making appointments with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate this more than you will ever know. And of course, if that is what you wish, that information is down below for you. Thank you again so much. I wish you best of luck in the month of March. Lots of success, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Hello Aries, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome to your March reading, March 2018. Very interesting, I have to say. I have so many cards here. There's a whole bunch of cards that keeps falling this month, and they're all give me supportive energy. I just find your reading to be very fascinating. As you know, we're all going through changes. You are no different. When I was meditating on what I was seeing, I kept hearing the word risks, taking risks. So it feels like many of you in the March of, okay, some of you, it started in January, interesting. But for many of you, the month of March is going to be around deciding what is the truth, what is no longer working for you, and choosing to either do something different entirely or be happy with where you are at. Why? Because currently I feel many of you are at an inner conflict that is preventing you from moving forward. Relationship being the first one, the second one about monetary gain or financial stability. The numbers that you have around you are one of expansion, but this is expansion through emotional responsibility to yourself, eloquently put, and also expansion through deeper understanding of yourself. And everything is about deeper understanding, especially with me, because I love it. Because every time we dig deep into our subconscious, that's where we get the nuggets of gold. So anyway, you can see I'm very passionate about this. Point is, many of you are ready for a change. Many of you have been stubbornly standing at status quo, or are still at status quo, not knowing what to decide, where to decide, how to decide, or most importantly, where you see yourself going, so what your vision is. That brings me to the entire number 10, which is completion. So March represents a finality in some way, but it isn't a bad finality. It is finalizing a certain way of doing things, certain way of being, finalizing a not avoiding making a choice or decision, or finalizing some sort of a project. There's a finality with it, but the finality with it allows you to go and move forward in a much more expanded way. What do I mean by this? Because he says, explain what that means. It basically means that many of you are ready to take serious risks in life, and stability comes up here. So let's go with the cards. School, the word school comes up, and the word crossroads comes up. Many of you might be looking at wanting to, refinance your house. It has nothing to do with school, but refinance your house, but maybe it has something to do with school. So for some of you, you might be taking a serious risk at trading your current position or your current career to something totally different, and that is risky. So obviously, you know, I would never say jump and do something, because it has to, you obviously have to feel it. But that's what they're showing me. Some of you are ready to break certain contracts you have with people or situations, and you are ready to move on. But there's a sense of frustration with it. It's almost like some of you at least are in a position currently where it's not producing the results you want, but at the same time you're finding it very difficult to jump forward and do something different. So you're stuck between two doors, if you will. And then I hear the word completion. So it looks like many of you will at least begin to see how you can do things differently, or will begin to come to the point where you'll begin to realize, I think I need to do something different this time, or this time I think I'm going to do it. Something of that sort. My apologies, I'm going to close the email. I thought it was closed. So the cards that represent the energy that is working with you is, you guessed, the Truth, or it's the Judgment card in the traditional tarot deck. So this is the big energy. This is the energy you are working with. This is the energy that is supporting you. This is the theme of March. And it is a theme that signals potential change, because you are choosing to look at the truth. You are no longer choosing to hide from your problem or your problems, and you are choosing to take a look at what really is without, I want to say without compromise, but I also want to say without blame. That's what I want to say. Okay. So then I said, okay, show me what this is all about. And 3 cards popped up. You have 7 of Wands, you have 4 of Swords, and you have 9 of Pentacles. So what this is telling me is that a lot of your guys' denial, or a lot of your guys' stuckness, stems from you having inner conflict within yourself when it comes to emotional abundance. Everything we do in life, I say it all the time, acts like a magnet in order to externally bring something to us that is of like vibration, like energy. So for those of you who are going to be digging into deeper aspects of you and realizing what your conditioning is and aligning yourself differently emotionally so that you can have more success in the future, if you fundamentally don't have a high value within yourself, if emotionally you don't feel you are very strong, or if you feel if you doubt yourself all the time, or if you are critical of yourself all the time, all these things will prevent you from attracting what you want or keeping what you attract, because you constantly are bouncing against the fundamental belief that you are somehow not enough. And these energies, particularly the ones in January, have brought forward serious situations for some of you in order to examine, re-examine, and re-evaluate your thought processes in order to help you recognize certain things about you. So month of March is critical for many of you, because you will have aha moments, or you will be faced with situations where the universe says, here, look at this. Do you like it? Do you want to keep it? Or do you want something different? It's your choice. So doesn't mean in March you're going to get all changes necessarily, but the thought process begins there. And it's also an internal process. Some of you have been having some serious inner fight, and it's an inner doubt. Okay. So what are you leaving behind? Brilliant. What you are leaving behind is lack of movement around stability. And this is stability, mostly financial, physical as well, emotional, yes. Everything stems from our emotional stability. So, but this is to do with work a lot of the time, and relationships, and also health. And it says to me that what you're leaving behind is lack of passion towards your work, lack of passion towards how you bring in finances, lack of passion towards something that is fundamental and solid in your life, like a relationship, or it could be lack of passion towards being healthy, which is a weird statement, I know, but that's what's coming in. So many of you are leaving that behind. What you are also leaving behind is lack of movement, and you have not felt in control when it comes to you and affordability. So when it comes to you and your ability to create your abundance and effectively keep it, there has been some serious doubts in your mind due to your past or about the past that is currently somehow connected to where you're at. Because I see those 2 points are connected. So this is very, very specific, and it will connect with some of you, but hopefully you know what that means. Point is, there was lack of energy, there was lack of movement, there was lack of maybe even ambition when it comes to you creating your financial stability, and there was lack of movement forward. You're leaving that behind, or at least in the month of March there's opportunity for you to leave that behind. Why? Because you are going to take a serious look at some serious things in your life that are not working, and you're going to take ownership of it. This is taking ownership. This is what I see. This is about taking ownership of what doesn't work, and realizing that it is a lot of, I'm going to say it. I know some of you will fight me on this, and that's fair. What we attract, what we create, is based fundamentally on what we believe is the truth for us, mostly subconsciously. So what I'm saying here is, for some of you, there will be a huge realization that if you are stuck in a job that you hate, it's because there is something fundamentally within you that is preventing you from getting something better. And it typically isn't because you feel great about yourself. It's typically because you feel the opposite. So that's something for you to recognize. I understand it's not for all of you, but you are wanting to head into this financial abundance on every level: health, relationships, home, money. This is what you want. If you have a fight within you that is preventing you from feeling stable and secure, it's going to be very hard for you to attract this. Now, what you are going to experience, you have 3 cards. You have King of Pentacles, you have 4 of Cups, and you have 5 of Cups in reverse. So here's what I see. There's few things here. Okay, some of you have unfinished business around stability in your home, particularly pertaining to a male. I want to say a father. So for some of you, this could be where you have been comparing yourself to your father, or maybe your father was very successful. Maybe you were compared to your father. There's something about an older male in your life, and it's to do with stability and security, that you are trying to measure yourself up to. This is not necessarily a conscious thing. It's most likely subconscious, but for some of you, it might be conscious. And that perhaps that is creating the inner fight within you. But the other part of this message here is that you are leaving this emotional loss behind, because it looks here like some of you have lost something. And there's a poverty feeling around this. There is this 5 of Cups. It's a very poverty mentality. It's not having enough. It's not having enough abundance and emotional abundance. Seeing it in this way shows me that you will effectively be letting some of it go, or at least recognizing that something from your past is still keeping you stuck. So there's going to be a resolution. The other part of the message here is financially connected to a boss. Some of you may, how do I see this? I feel like you are working under a male, could be a female, but feels very male. This is somebody who is either your boss, your manager, your employer, whoever it is. And there could be either a disagreement, or you're not quite sure about this anymore. So I see that some of you may be leaving a job behind, or maybe realizing, is this truly what I want? It also denotes that you will be, in the month of March, rethinking and reinventing. So for some of you will be reinventing ideas, or you will be inventing ideas how to help and support you in maybe somehow non-traditional ways for some of you going forward. Ultimately, there's a letting go of a loss from your past, something that you were holding on to in your past. And for some of you, this is what's keeping you. You are holding on to your past, and it's a mentality of lack, not enough, not enoughness in your life at some point in your history. So what's going to come up? Well, Five of Coins comes up, and this is again poverty. So you've got a lot of fives, and you have a lot of the poverty thing going on here. Now, this is not meant to be a statement that's saying it's your fault. It is simply implying that there are some deeper truth within you that you are either A, not paying attention to, or not realizing because it was not the time for you to realize. And obviously, whenever we have feeling of lack, we will often feel very, well, not great. This is the Nine of Swords, or the Eight of Swords in reverse. But remember, month of March is a month that has the potential to uproot this so that you can finally see what's going on. So this is fantastic. It's like you're turning a new leaf over. Is that how I want to say it? Or turning a new page. Few more cards. You have All That Glitters. Be mindful of not creating something that you ultimately don't want in order to get something financially. I'm going to say it differently. Be yourself is what I want to say. The other thing I want to say is look deeper into other people's motives, because it might be that people are offering you something, but you're not able to see what is there, and you have to look deeper and see behind the mask. This is also about, just because something presents itself in a certain packaging doesn't mean that's exactly what it is. So this is about digging deeper, but I feel like this is more externally connected. So let's say you may be getting an offer and it looks brilliant, but your job is to dig deeper and really see if that offer has everything you want, because there might be some things that kind of might be overlooked, but it's important thing for you to know. So that's what I'm getting. The other thing is education. I hear the words, be careful of people lying to you. So if somebody's trying to sell you a bill of goods, and they're telling you, oh my God, you're going to make all this money and you're going to do this, this, and that. Take a pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling about this? What is my body telling me? Because chances are somebody's trying to feed you some BS. So that's the message I get with this card. The next card you have is, this is about being in the now. You can't be in the future because it's not there, and you can't be in the past because it's gone. This is about not being stuck thinking about the future too much, and certainly not being stuck thinking about the past. Reflection is different than being stuck in the past. It's very different. Reflection is reflecting back, yes, but it's drawing conclusions and drawing wisdom and then leaving that behind, the emotional aspect behind. So this is what I want to say. Don't get caught in a battle between past and present. This is about now. It's also about feeling peace within yourself. Next card you have Rebirth. This is about second chances. Remember what I was talking about? This is about second chances. This is about coming out of rough waters and starting new for many of you in a much grander way. For a lot of you, it's financially speaking. And last but not least, go the distance in reverse. Everything you're doing right now, or everything that you are embarking on right now, will have a long-lasting benefits and long-lasting results, consequences. Thank you. So if you are looking at a change, because it's time to address stuff that's not working, be mindful not to jump from one to the next simply because you want a change. The question you want to ask yourself, what is it that I want as a result of this change, and what is it that I'm looking for? because jumping from place to place, either relationship or work, without realizing what you truly want, which is based on asking yourself those deep questions, then you're just going to waste a lot of your energy. So whatever is going to transpire in the month of March has the potential to have long-reaching consequences, and that means that you want to carefully examine your choices and decisions and come to it from a place of hope and prosperity versus lack and neglect. Because when we come from the point of neglect and lack, we are much more bound to make the next step too hastily because we're afraid. We're always afraid we're always afraid we're going to get to the point where we're not going to have enough. A lot of it is subconscious, but I think I digress. I don't want to become too philosophical. I hope this makes sense to you. This sounds like a fantastic month for you. Possibility of amazing changes, not necessarily in March, but a beginning of the process of your change. And I feel it's been coming for a long, long time for you. Thank you so much for watching, for sharing, for liking. This probably won't make sense to you at the beginning. It never does. So do listen to it at the end or maybe towards the beginning of April. And if you'd like to comment, I would love to read it. I always do. For private sessions or consultations, how this affects you privately, that information is down below. Thank you so much once again. I hope you have a wonderful March. Apologies for the camera. It's being really, really wonky for some reason. But I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much. Take care and good luck.